Hello. I'd like to talk a little bit about the vision of World Brotherhood colonies that Yogananda talked about. And what he asked us to do is to pool our resources, buy land in the country, grow our own food, and lead a simple life. Simple living and high thinking. That was what he said was the goal. And he was talking in the late 1940s and early 50s about this when Swami Kriyananda was around him as a young man and hearing him speak about these things. And that's why Swami Kriyananda, as his direct disciple, felt this great longing to help fulfill his guru's mission, and he created World Brotherhood colonies. And we have them in Seattle and Portland and Ananda near Nevada City and Sacramento and Los Angeles and in Italy and India. So these fledgling communities are pivotal to helping people to lead a spiritual life. It's extremely helpful to have the opportunity to meditate with other devotees. It helps tremendously to have group meditations and to share in various activities together, group meals, satsangs of various kinds, to actually work and serve together. My greatest friendships have been forged by simply working and serving together with others in an informal way, and yet a very, very deep connection is formed by being together. And we have seen during this pandemic, Dharmadas and I basically are very secluded. We occasionally go for walks to get exercise, and often we will walk with other people, socially distancing, wearing masks, not driving somewhere in the same car together. We're very careful. And when we walk on the trail or wherever it is, we always wear masks the whole time. But just that simple way of connecting, because we live in a spiritual community, it's very natural and very easy. And at Christmas time, just a few days ago, the staff and many volunteers in the community put in so much time to make the space beautiful. And so outside of Master's kitchen, there is still a big Christmas tree all decorated. The kitchen has lights on it. The trees around that area that's all open space and lawn, except for a few trees, they're all bejeweled with lights. And there's a little shrine to Master that's all lit up. Twinkle lights in the trees, and there's a nearly life-size creche scene with nearly life-size figures that are just gorgeous. And at night, or at least after dark, so in the early evening, many community residents are out walking. And we run into each other and have informal conversations. And one devotee put up his telescope when we were looking at Jupiter and Saturn and that conjunction that happened. So there, even though we're all in lockdown, even though we are all wearing masks, socially distancing, all of that, we were still able to interact and still able to be part of a community because we live in such close proximity. It was a miracle. And so my feeling is that we're not in seclusion. Yes, we work in our house most of the day, but we still see people, we still interact with them. It's still the blessing of friendship. So this is another reason to live in spiritual community. You know all of your neighbors. You know who you can count on. You know where you can go if you are in need of anything. So take this bit of advice from Yogananda and see what you can do to join a spiritual community. Of course, here in Sacramento, we have many people who live close by or in a decent driving distance area, and it's very helpful. We've had a Kriyaban preparation group happening through all of 2020, this last year. And so we've been able to invite them over for meditations in the Babaji garden, and we've had a lot of classes and discussions on Zoom, etc. But we were able to have the Kriya initiation in November here in the Babaji garden. So there are people in the area who consider this their community, even if they don't live here. But I urge you to consider living here, because it is such a great blessing, and you know that you are not alone when you can knock on someone's door, give them a call, and have them get something for you or be in your life. Human beings are social creatures, and it's very, very helpful to be part of a spiritual family. Today, Dharmadas and I performed a little baptism ceremony for our youngest member. It's just a little baby, just a few months old. And it was such a joy to be outside. We were over in the Dakshina garden, which is just beautiful. The sun was shining. I was just wearing a kurta, just a thin cotton shirt outside, and a mask, of course. And we sanitized our hands before we blessed the baby. So we have to find creative ways of being together outside. And we may still have a few months, or who knows how long. One article I read said the last quarter of 2021. Only God knows. But I urge you to consider those words of Yogananda, and to, even if you can't live here, not everyone can, but try to tune in. Try to come to classes and satsangs and live in the vibration of your spiritual family and know that God is with you and He will bless you through His other devotees.